Just what you saw from your team with the effort.
A lot of fight. We got down early, just kept battling. Number of guys just stepped up like they've done all year. And so the defense, I thought, was really good. The rebounding, really good. A lot of hustle in the game. I thought Josh was unbelievable. I think OG gave us great minutes. You can't say enough about what Jalen did. And then Precious came in and gave us great minutes, as did Deuce. And that's really been the story of our season. And Dante had a good stretch where we need everyone just hustling like crazy. And if we do that, good things will come from that.
Embiid obviously got Isaiah into foul trouble, and then you go to Precious, and then you obviously switch OG onto him as well. Just what did you see from the team to make up?
Yeah, we just got to make sure we're disciplined. We can't whack down. If we do that and give the appropriate help and read the ball correctly and then fly around after that, then our defense is good. So that's what we have to do, and we got to be disciplined.
In the end of the third quarter, so he went to the locker room.
Yeah, he just tweak something, but he's fine.
Your defense in the final, especially the fourth quarter, you kept them without a basket. What was the key defensively in keeping them from a field goal?
Yeah, it's just, and look, they're a very dynamic team, and so they put a lot of pressure on you. They got a number of guys that could go off the dribble, and then when you factor in what Maxey does and what Embiid does, it's a lot of firepower, and you got to be tied together with your whole team, because once you send the second guy, you also got to make the rotations, and then you got to finish, you got to challenge the shot, and then they're very athletic and going after the ball too. So we know that the challenge for us is to play. We have to play for 48 minutes against them.
You mentioned playing for 48 minutes, Tom. You guys consistently are getting to loose balls at the end of games. You do it all year. You've done it multiple times in the series. What is it about your group that?
Yeah, and I think we learned that throughout the course of the season, because it started when Mitch went out and everyone thought, we would be in trouble then. And then Isaiah went in there, and, you're not replacing Mitch individually. You got to do that with your team. And then when Julius went out, the same thing. You don't replace him individually. And then OG goes out, and the same thing can be said for him. We had a great January, but then we lost everyone. So we didn't have a starting front court. Then when we got guys back, Isaiah missed a bunch of games, and he's on minutes restrictions the last couple of months. But what it did do is it allowed Josh to grow more, and Dante to grow more, and Deuce to grow more. And so that was a positive. And then, Jalen's just played at such an incredibly high level all season long. And we can play off that. And we have a little bit of everything. We got, the rebounding has been terrific. Everyone questioned the rebounding with Josh at the power forward. We've been the best rebounding team all year. Everyone questioned Jalen, being a leader. So we got a lot to prove. And we still, it takes 4 to win a series, and that's what we got to focus on.
When you have a guy like OG who can guard a 6'2" guy like Maxey or a 7-foot guy like Embiid, just how valuable is that to you?
Yeah, and the same could be said for Josh, and that's what gives you, those are huge pluses. In OG, we knew that today it was not only like he wasn't just his individual defense, it was the rebounding that went along with that. And to me, that was huge for us. And then I thought Josh was everywhere, and he was the trigger. He was the trigger of the defense. And so, and then when you couple that with the 17 rebounds, that's, he had great impact on the game, and that's what Josh does. And then I thought at the end, you got to fight for the ball, and I thought we did that.
Would you say this game kind of is your season in a capsule? I mean, the way you won it, doing things, Jalen having a big game, defense, offensive rebounds, guys like, Precious stepping up when they had to.
Yeah, and I think it has been the story of the season. And I think, when you look back to everything that transpired with guys going out and then new guys coming in, and whoever gets in there, just get the job done. Know what your job is, do your job, execute. And then, there was disappointment in the way we finished the last game. But what we were in control of is how we got ready for this game. And so, be ready. And that's our challenge. And we know you're not replacing, frontline guys individually. We have to do it collectively. And if we do that, You know, if we're a team, we do the right things, good things come from that.
Played a lot of great games, obviously. Playoffs, kind of a swing game in the playoffs, and he sets 2 Knicks records with the all-time points and first 40 and 10 guy. I mean, what do you say about that?
Yeah, you know, I mean, this has probably been, we're a team, and, you know, we have a team of leaders, and then, of course, the way Jalen has responded to the challenge has been huge, but not just Jalen. Everyone's embraced their role. And like I said, the challenge now is for us not to feel good about ourselves, to not change, to, you know, enjoy this for the moment, but tonight start getting ready for the next one. So we know the challenge that'll be in front of us, and we have to get the 4th win. So be ready for that.
A couple more guys.
With Mitch, there was a report that he was warming up with the intention of playing. Did something happen?
Yeah, just, you know, and again, he had to go through the warm-up and then make a decision as to whether he felt he could go or not, and he wasn't quite there. So, you know, just keep getting your treatment and get a look at it tomorrow, and then we go from there.
With OG, how did you know, like, when you didn't have Mitch, did you know he could be an option?
Yeah, well, going into the series, we thought, but this could be a possibility. You know, I thought more like we probably were going to use it more in a different situation, right? But the situation we were in with Mitch being out, Isaiah in foul trouble, and then I wanted to get a look at it anyway, and he wanted to do it, so we got to look at it. And look, Embiid is, you know, he's a load. You're not guarding him individually. You got to guard him with your team. So we understand that.
At the end, the offensive rebounding, the way that it kept your possessions going, it was key to winning that game down the stretch, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, and I think it's one of the things. It's one of the strengths of our team. So, we know how important that is. We think it's a high value shot. Right, so we're trying to, you know, obviously get as many rim attacks as we can get. We like layups, we like free throws, and we like open threes. And then a byproduct of forcing a defense to collapse, right, is getting the offensive rebound. And what comes from that are layups, dunks, free throws, and open threes. So we understand how important that is. So, and you know, we've got some guys that are great at it, and they're relentless. I think when you look at Mitch is probably the best in the league. Isaiah is great at it. Josh is great at it. OG's great at it. So even our smalls are good at going.
The beginning part of that game, OG, you're using him a little bit differently. He's kind of guarding Oubre or guarding off the ball as opposed to on Maxey, and he's roaming a little bit. How did you see him do in that role, and how do you feel about him?
And you know, and again, you're not. I don't think a steady diet of anything on anybody. So and that's the value of having the versatility of Josh. And so Josh and OG are basically interchangeable. And then you throw in Dante, who's different, but also can guard, you know, wings. And then you throw in Deuce, who's, you know, he can guard up, he can guard down. So we got a bunch of guys like that. And then the versatility of Precious, what he can do as well. So we've got a number of guys that fit into that category.
Is guarding Embiid late in the game and he's fronting him. How much of the goal is just like slow down their options and force them into their actions?
You know, the front is something that you have to look at the placement of the ball, and then you have to have the discipline to do it correctly, and then you have to adjust when he steps out. And there's a different coverage for that, and then where he catches, there's different coverage for that, and then you need everyone reading the ball correctly for it to work. Yep.
Derek, you don't bring